All right, so on the ESBC Twitter page, man, they dropped just a tiny clip of a actual technique in game known as the stab jab. So, and of course, depending on where you go, what type of gym you're training in, all techniques are going to have different names. But what I wanted to do is break down the technique itself and kind of explain why it's good and kind of the usefulness that you'll get out of it in game. So, look, stay tuned. Yo, we're going to get right into it. All right, so as mentioned in the beginning, they dropped just a very small clip, man, of this technique, and it's a very versatile technique, man. And I wanted to do this so I can break down some of the technical side of things, man, and you all get a better understanding of what you will have in your arsenal when this game comes out. So the stab jab, what is it? Why is it useful? Now, there's a lot of reasons why the stab jab is actually really good. One in particular is that just because the mechanic of the punch alone, it naturally takes you off of the line and it puts you in a relatively safe position, meaning that the punch is actually very difficult to counter. On top of that, the stab jab can be used to kind of hit your opponent right into the solar plexus, and it really can help to like disrupt an opponent's breathing, especially if you know that your opponent is there and he's trying to take a break and he's trying to get a breath. Hitting him right there, right at the right time, does a lot to kind of like stick and drain your opponent. It's just, and not only that, but the punch itself can be very annoying because nobody likes getting hit in the body. But at the same time, it can help to add a certain level of ambiguousness to your attack pattern, which if you use it well enough and you condition your opponent enough, and then you switch it up to say a hook upstairs, it really makes you difficult to counter, and it also makes you very, very difficult to read. Now, if you look in the clip, the way that it was implemented was off of a counter. So he just so happened to be just outside of the range of Okoli's punches, and then he shot it straight down. So I would imagine that based on the clip, that it did so much damage because he was counterpunched, which means that this game definitely has an open counterpunch window. What that is, I think once we get the really technical breakdowns of the game, then high level players will be able to understand exactly what that counterpunch window is. And I think that's going to be very big, okay, when it comes to competing in the eSports side of things. Now, on the other hand, there's ways to actually implement this into your offense. You can definitely do it off of the jab. If you saw the Charlo clip, he literally jabbed. Rosario kept his hands at home and high, and it left an easy attack lane down to the solar plexus. So he jabbed and then boom, straight down. You can do it off of the 1-2. 1-2, the hands are at home, especially if they keep their hands high. Boom, you can catch them down to the bottom again. I think this is a very useful technique, man, and I'm glad that they dropped just this little portion, just these little tidbits, these little nuggets, because there's so much usefulness, but there's so much technicality to the game itself that we're starting to see. And even in the way that they're implemented in the animations, you can see how they're leaning and they're lowering their weight and all that type of stuff. And man, I really like that they dropped these little pieces like that, so you can really get a sense of how technically sound the game is actually going to be once it comes out. So this was a little bit of a technical breakdown. This was a little bit of a I guess an insight on the like tactical side of things and these certain techniques that are in the game. I do want to save a little bit, man. When the game comes out, there's going to be so much to talk about. I really hope that they continue to drop these little pieces, because if they do, man, there's going to be so much additional things to talk about with this game. So look, man, if you guys enjoyed these little breakdowns, man, and get an opportunity to see how they're used in actual fights, then let me know, man, and I'll continue doing them. I love this portion of it, man. I get really excited when I get a chance to talk about the technicalities of things and show people how useful these small pieces are. And these are things that people would just bypass. They would not see the usefulness of it and how you can actually implement it into your own game, man. Like, These talks are going to become very useful, man, when the game comes out later on. And I really can't wait. So look, I don't want to ramble, yo, because I will go all day long on something like this. So look, man, like I tell y'all every time, thank you for coming back to the Coach's Corner. Look, let's talk about it. Down if there's other little techniques like this, man, what type of things would you like to see in the game? So yeah, man, let's talk about it. We'll continue the conversation down in the comments, man. Appreciate y'all for coming back to the Coach's Corner. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace out.